As your child gets older and turns into an adult, and you get older, it is a very daunting thing to try to figure out what that plan is.
He definitely is coming into more of an independence. We do see moodiness sometimes, and we certainly see defiance. We kind of silently have joy with that, and we're still tearing our hair out at the same time.
Children with RTS go through puberty just like other individuals do, and so that's part of life.
We're working with a behavioral therapist so that he understands that, yes, his body is his own, and he has every right to explore it, but at the same time, he needs to be respectful of where he is and whether he's in a private or public situation.
I'll admit I was, in constant fear of what do we do when she starts her period. My wife was amazing with it, and she started early on, way before Sophie started, talking to her about it, showing her when she would have her own period.
The first thing is to kind of understand what the family's goals are around menstruation, what their concerns are and why.
Families may choose to limit or eliminate their child's menstrual cycles by using birth control such as Depo-Provera injections or contraceptive pills. If the child is immobile, their risk for bone density issues and blood clots are increased, so an IUD, intrauterine device, may be best.
There can be some challenges there around the placement and sometimes requiring sedation to place those in some of our patients with developmental disabilities.
In addition to body changes that go along with puberty, obesity, tumors, and depression are some of the medical health concerns that patients with RTS can face.
We can point out limitations. We can predict some healthcare things that these families may possibly run into and have an eye for those. And I think it's important when you're looking out into the life course to watch for those things and learn what they might be.
And provide referrals and support for families when they see those changes.
Are these kids going to need support into the future? We all need support into the future.
One of the main ways that we can help with that is by starting the discussion early about how we're going to promote that independence and what do we need to prepare for as we become adult, as we turn 18.
As you start looking at your person who's transitioning into adulthood, explore all those options, do some research.
Options for support such as power of attorney or conservatorship, which are a little less restrictive to the individual, and there is something called supported decision making, which is the idea that all of us need some help with our decisions as adults.
For us, full guardianship works. We were very fortunate because Cincinnati Children's actually has a transition clinic, and it was literally a team of people who helped us navigate the steps into adulthood. They helped us navigate things like SSI disability. Getting her on Medicaid was part of that process that just kind of surprised us. We got a letter that said, hey, congratulations, you're on Medicaid. And we're like, oh, look at that.
One of the other pieces of developing a transition plan is developing a summary of your health information. A pediatrician can really help by preparing that information for the family or with the family together, ideally.
Pediatricians should also look at other transitions going on and how they affect behavior and medical needs. Referrals for education transition and employment support will also be helpful for families.
Conditions like Rubinstein-Taybi syndrome are rare. Then it can be helpful to have access to a pediatric provider who's known that family, knows their history, and that helps build trust with the families, with the new providers when they know the pediatric and the adult providers are communicating.
A few things adult providers should take into consideration when receiving new patients with RTS is the scheduling of office visits.
For some patients, that may be as simple as trying to schedule a visit at the beginning of the day so they don't have to wait very long for their visit. Allowing them to wait in a room instead of in the waiting room.
Behavior in appointments and answers from patients may not be accurate, so including their caregivers in the conversation is also helpful.
Those kind of simple things can really facilitate the visit, make that go much smoother for the individual and for the provider.
Adult providers will want to make referrals to specialists when necessary and follow up with their patients afterward. As with any chronic condition, their current preventative care needs should be met.
Some ways she's always going to be a child, and like I said, we still have Easter egg hunts, we still have Santa come to the house. Expect your kids to grow out of it, but now it's like, I'm probably going to be doing Easter egg hunts when she's 50.
We understand that at some point, because Cooper wants to interact with his peers, that he may be more interested in moving into a group setting, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
She's growing up, but how she sees the world is very fun.